One Zambia, one nation, and thanks for joining us on Zanis News. To present, my name is Juliet Mutale. Top stories in the news tonight. 22nd COMESA Summit opens in Lusaka. Zambia Red Cross Society invests over 1 million kwacha in the health sector. Chilubi Town Council fails to submit 2023 CDF project proposals. The 22nd Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA Summit has opened with a call for the member states to embrace peace and security as a catalyst for economic growth and regional integration. Zambia's Vice President Mutale Nalumango officially opened the meeting in Lusaka today, which will start with the Committee of Ministers of Foreign Affairs from the 21 member states. Here are the details by Michelo Lubinda.
Delegates from the 21 Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA member states and other regional economic blocs are in Zambia for the COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit. The summit officially opened with the 16th edition of the Committee of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, a policy organ of COMESA which is expected to set the agenda for the meeting of heads of state. Vice President Mutale Nalumango officially opened the meeting with a call for COMESA to accelerate efforts aimed at restoring peace and stability in some countries that are currently facing conflicts.
There can be no meaningful economic development on our continent or indeed anywhere else in the absence of peace and security. Therefore, it is in COMESA's interest to ensure that peace prevails at all times, because instability anywhere on the continent is instability everywhere. Despite the worrying situation, we are still hopeful that the recent efforts facilitated by IGAD, AU, UN, and other partners will yield positive results in the shortest time possible.
COMESA is concerned with the escalation of the conflict in Sudan, which has resulted in displacement of people and damage to infrastructure.
Despite these encouraging developments, our region recently witnessed deadly escalation of fighting in Sudan, whose effects were felt in many parts of the world, and which have resulted in the loss of life, displacement of populations, and damage of infrastructure. As a regional body, we're also concerned over any renewed escalation that could result in spillover effects and thus have a devastating impact on the whole region. Sudan is one of the founding members of COMESA and the home of the COMESA Court of Justice. It has an invaluable role to play in the COMESA regional integration agenda and economic and social development of the region.
Burundi is the current holder of the African Union Champion for Youth, Peace and Security Agenda in Africa, and has called on COMESA member states to address the challenges that young people are facing in their countries and encourage them to embrace peace and stability at all levels.
Causes of problems that the youth are facing, the brain drain, the illegal exploitation of natural resources, the deficit of political governance, inequalities, social inequalities, and the imbalance.
2023 COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit is being held under the theme Economic Integration for a Thriving COMESA, anchored on green investment, value addition, and tourism. Michelo Lubinda for Zanis in Lusaka.
We now move to Muchinga province. Government has raised concern over the increasing congestion of transit tracks in Nakonde district. Ministry of Transport and Logistics Permanent Secretary Frederick Mwalusaka says the congestion needs to be addressed quickly. Speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Nakonde District Commissioner Marvelous Sikapizia at his office, Mr. Mwalusaka stated that government is engaging various stakeholders in finding a lasting solution. Here are the details.
This kind of traffic flow, characterized by congestion of transit tracks, has been a normal narrative in Nakonde district in Muchinga province for a long time now. The congestion, mainly caused by these tracks due to the bad state of this road and its limited space, has now increased, thereby posing great danger to both motorists and pedestrians. Government is concerned with this situation and is now coming up with interventions with the neighboring Tanzanian counterparts through bilateral talks on how to counter this problem. Permanent Secretary for Transport and Logistics Frederick Malusaka, who was accompanied by his counterpart in the Ministry of Information and Media Kenneth Kalunga, are in Nakonde ahead of these bilateral talks.
Truck parks would actually help us manage this congestion that we are seeing here. Sure. Because when we have sufficient truck parks, instead of letting the trucks park along the road, they would actually go and park in those truck parks. And they are actually, if well managed, they would actually become a revenue source.
And Nakonde District Commissioner Mavela Sikapizia says government's intervention in the prevailing issue is highly commendable.
Our contractors, they are getting to do the work because of this congestion. Yeah. So when you meet with your counterparts there, please try if we can negotiate in a good way and in a good manner.
The successful construction and expansion of this stretch from Nakonde border to the Mbala Junction will help reduce on the levels of congestion in the border town. Henry Dompa Jr., Zanis in Nakonde, Muchinga Province.
The Zambia Red Cross Society has invested over 1 million kwacha towards the improvement of health services in Chirundu district. These include the construction of an outpatient department at Chibende Clinic worth over 400,000 kwacha. Chirundu District Commissioner Patrick Kasambila says the society is also supplementing government efforts in the provision of clean and safe water. Amos Zulu has the details.
As a border town, Chirundu has heavy traffic as the border facility also becomes the lifeline of the surrounding community here, also making them prone to infectious diseases such as COVID-19. It is for this reason that the Zambia Red Cross Society has procured equipment such as concentrators and other medical supplies to Mtendere Mission General Hospital.
They are also rehabilitating some malls in all our 12 wards. So Lady Cross is a good partner involvement. And they actually, I would encourage even maybe to do more, because we have seen that they are truly want to help even the government.
Some of the interventions by the Zambia Red Cross Society here in Chirundu was the construction of the OPD block that is catering for over 8,000 members of the community here in Chibende, and on the other side is a solar-powered water reticulation system that is also serving members of the community here.
It was very difficult to use one block for all those things. Imagine I'm seeing OPD patients and then we're also combining them with COVID, which is very infectious, as we all know. So it was very difficult for us to say to prevent these infections, but with the new block, I would say we're able to isolate.
The Help Us project being implemented by the Zambia Red Cross Society is being supported by the Netherlands Red Cross.
One of the issues that we have noted is that the facility does not have a space for them to conduct issues of like labor work. It's not there. So that's one of the issues that we have noted.
Hand washing facilities have also been constructed in selected schools and health facilities in Chirundu. Amos Zulu reporting.
And in Lusaka province, schools in Rufunsa district have started receiving desks procured using the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Rufunsa Member of Parliament Shiu Muliata flagged off the distribution of over 2,000 desks to 63 schools. Here are the details by Jonathan Mukuka.
Rufunsa Member of Parliament Shiu Muliata has flagged off distribution of over 2,000 desks to 63 schools in the district contracted under the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF at a total cost of 3 million kwacha. The CDF committee in Rufunsa constituency has further set aside more money to procure 3,000 desks under the 2023 CDF allocation. Ms. Muliata says President Hakainde Hichilema has set a goal that before the end of 2023, no pupil should sit on the floor.
The President has set a goal that before the end of 2023, No pupil should sit on the floor. For this reason, as a constituency, we have set an ambitious program through the 2022 and 2023 Constituency Development Fund to procure more desks for our learners.
Education authorities in Rufunsa are happy with the initiative to procure more desks under the CDF.
We've been informed that these desks that have been procured or contracted, they've been contracted at a very great cost. But the onus is on us as education to keep these items safely. We need to guard them jealously.
Yvonne Mwila, a grade 11 pupil at Shikaveta Combined School, gave a vote of thanks.
We as pupils of this school are indeed grateful for your unfailing support which you are rendering to this school. This gesture has attracted the attention of the parents and pupils at large to maximize their interest towards education.
Jonathan Mka reporting for Zanis News in Rufunsa, Lusaka Province.
We move to Southern Province. A head teacher at Sianka Primary School in Sinazongwe District, Matilda Malumo, says the free education policy has increased opportunities for children to get an education, but has also come with a challenge of inadequate desks. Nchimunya Nalumpa now gives us the details.
This is Sianyuka Primary School in the rural part of Sinazongwe District, with an enrollment of over 1,000 pupils. Since the introduction of free education, the school has recorded the highest enrollment ever, with 6 grade 1 classes of more than 50 learners in one class. This has created a shortage of desks, as some learners have to sit on the floor.
As a school, we have a total enrollment of 1,217 learners, and currently in this class where we are, this is a grade 2D class, which has 84 learners in total. We have these big numbers in our classrooms, and in short of desks, because of free education, our learners enrollment has increased, adding up to 382 learners in grade 1. So we tried to divide them into 6 classes, but again, due to shortage of teachers, we have reduced the classes to 4 so that we can manage with the members of staff that we have.
A new 1x3 classroom block constructed under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has also not been opened owing to lack of desks.
The classroom block behind me has not been opened yet due to the fact that we've not been given desks yet. But as a school, we've not just sat idle. We have applied to CDF again so that they can consider us as they are distributing the desks in the district. We've also written to our DEBS. He's fully aware of the need for desks at our school.
However, help is on the way, as Mulima Ward Councillor is keen to ensure the school is supported with desks through CDF.
We have the school that has been constructed, that's 1x3, a classroom block at Sianyuka Primary School. And that is the benefit of CDF funds. Then, when you look at this construction of this school, it will help the community, because every year that comes, we have not less than 200 pupils who are denied entry to grade 1. So we are simply saying we are expanding in terms of classroom spaces. So CDF is really helping us. And when this classroom is being handed over, it will not just be handed as a classroom as per se, we will also be given desks.
Nchimunya Nalumpa, Zanis, in Sinazongwe, Southern Province.
In a related development, pupils at Chiwele Primary School in Kawamba District have appealed to government to help transport desks from Chama area. Kawamba District allocated desks to the school which have not yet been transported due to the poor state of the road. Mwangala Kapandula has more in this report.
Pupils at Chiwela Primary School in Kawamba District are appealing to government to help transport desks they received for the school. The pupils are sitting on the floor as part of the consignment of the desks designated to the school are marooned in Chama area and could not be moved due to the poor state of the road.
Pasco tapatane pia kulombelako ya kutoshta madesk. So mujuni kule talala. Tulimbi bambi afuma ko bali abukana kamana so. Ofera no se abashikoite ne fya kumakasana. Ne fya ku majesta ko ta kufala ku mubiti. Talala.
The road is critical as it also houses huge investors such as Kawamba Sugar Limited, which has invested $50 million in the avocado project and is also working on modalities to support the school.
We are bringing in electricity. We are working with the government to bring in road connectivity so that we have a direct access to the D19 so that you're not reliant on a small boat crossing the stream. In the first instance, that's proposed to be a pontoon. To us, that is only a temporary measure. It is not a permanent fix. So we are working in conjunction with the government to put in a proper road access, which will come right on your doorstep, which is obviously to help our project develop, but aside from that, it will help villages like this and schools like this to have more connectivity with the outside world also.
Kawamba Council Chairperson is aware of the situation.
Under 2022, we had to procure about 1,900 to 2,000 desks, but this did not cater for the entire, for the entire schools, because the shortage of desks for the, for the entire district was was about 7,000. So this year, we intend to procure 5,000, 2,500 for Pambashi, 2,500 for Kamba Central.
For Zanis News, Mwangalaka Pandora reporting in Kawamba District, Luapula Province.
You are watching Zanis News on ZMBC TV 1. Vobi residents in Eastern Province have thanked government for the set-up water scheme under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, worth 259,000 kwacha. The residents say that the project will benefit over 3,000 people in the community who used to share the same water points with animals. Davison Sakala now reports.
According to Sustainable Goal number 6 of 2015, it goes without mention that water is a necessity to life and access to clean water is a plus for a healthy citizenry. For this reason, government has in Vubi district erected an artesian well water scheme using the 2021 Community Development Fund, CDF, something that has pleased the over 3,000 people benefiting from the project.
Kani ya madzi nali vuto loteratu kuno kwathu kumlawe. As a result, vantu tinali kumwa madzi pamodzi na nyama za mchire. Komanso phatikiza apo pa chipatala chathu cha Mlawe Health Post panali benso madzi. Chomwe inali kutipasa chiopsezo kuti mwina ngati chipatala chikhala chopanda madzi kunali kwa pafupi kutaka na chitseka.
The water scheme chairperson has since pledged to safeguard the 1.5 liters per second water project due to its life-changing impact on the community.
Sono aya madzi omwe yanapezeka pano ya lusapula ya midzi yonse itatu ili hapa komanso anadonsedwa mpaka nokafika ku chipatala komwe tikamba pano ngakhale chipatala chathu cha Mlawe chuchita benefit madzi omwe yaluchoka hapa. So on behalf of the community ine nilithokoza boma kuti inagwira ntchito kwambiri potipatsa madzi ambiri, madzi amene yalutithandiza miyoyo yathu. Komanso nilonjeze pano nena kuti ine na komiti yanga sitidzatopa usevenzera pali water scheme pankhani ya chisamaliro kuti ititengere nthawi yayitali.
And Vubi District Council Secretary Moffat Mwanza underscores the project as one of the most important ventures undertaken using CDF in Vubi District.
This is a water scheme. The total value for the scheme is 259,000 and it was completed some months ago. Then we also have a grader, the motor grader, which was acquired at 2.7 million kwacha. It was supplied 2 months ago as well.
Davison Sakala, reporting for Zanis, in Vube District.
And from the northern part of the country, Provincial Minister Leonard Mbao has expressed disappointment with Chulubi Town Council's failure to submit the 2023 Constituency Development Fund project proposals. The minister has since called for a meeting with the council management to get updates on the utilization of CDF. Here's a report.
6 months down the line, Chulubi Town Council has not submitted project proposals for implementation under the Constituency Development Fund CDF for 2023. This has angered Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao, who had called for a meeting with council management to get updates on the utilization of CDF.
I am, however, not happy with the fact that you have this June, you have not submitted the projects for 2023. This is quite regrettable. The issues you have given these reasons, they are not reason enough.
Mr. Mbao interrogated why the council managed to spend all the 5% allocation for administration in the 2022 CDF when they failed to hold meetings to plan for projects to be implemented this year.
And in 2023, you have had a lot of meetings. You had a lot of visits. But you couldn't consider doing those projects were not important at that time. So if you can spend 300,000 on other things within the year, because this is the balance you came with from 2022. So your first statement to say that the money finished in December was not true.
Officers had a tough time to justify why the local authority has not yet submitted the project proposals for 2023.
The component for admin, the 5% component for admin has been depleted. So that's the challenge that we have currently. But last week we just received a component under loans amounting to 3.2. So out of 3.2, we are supposed to get 5%.
Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Chulubi, Northern Province.
And in our sports segment tonight, a Turn Team Women's Football League has been launched in Serenge and Chitambo District in Central Province. Football Association of Zambia FAZ Central Province Women Representative Joyce Mwandila officiated at the event. Let's take a look.
Football has often been dominated by the boys. This is all changing as more and more girls have started taking part in the sport. In Serenge and Chitambo districts of Central Province, a 10-team women's football league has been launched to enable teams compete with each other. Central Province Football Association of Zambia FAZ Women Representative Joyce Mwandila, who officiated at the event, urged coaches to be firm with the girls.
And I urge you coaches to be a bit firm when you are dealing with the girl child. Don't shout the girls the way you shout the guys when they are in the field of play. My humble request is handle these girls with love and care.
She had a warning for the coaches.
Girl coaches that are here, these are your girls. Handle them well the way I said. I don't want to hear from Mr. Chiba to say, no, coach Bakukwitu, coach Bakunani, Baripera, player if more. I'm not going to let you coach. If it means taking you to court, I'll go with you to court.
And proprietor of Mpepeto Queens, Brigadier General Masia Tembo, said engaging in sports reduces early marriages and teenage pregnancies. And one of the players, Doreen Kandafula, shared her thoughts on the sport.
Football has been an amazing sport that has kept us entertained, away from various things that can spoil us in society. It has played a major role in our lives as it keeps us busy and focused. It has also helped our health because we always keep fit as we are always on the pitch training. It has also prevented us from engaging ourselves into teenage pregnancies and early marriages because we are kept busy on the pitch doing some sports.
The provincial FAZ executive donated 10 match balls, while Serenge Central Member of Parliament George Kandafula donated 5 match balls to the Serenge and Chitambo teams in order to kickstart the league. Sandra Mwangamlinga reporting for Zanis in Chitambo District, Central Province.
That last item concludes Zanis News, but before we go, we recap on the headlines. 22nd COMESA Summit opens in Lusaka. Zambia Red Cross Society invests over 1 million kwacha in the health sector. Chilubi Town Council fails to submit 2023 CDF project proposals. Thank you so much for staying with us. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. My name is Juliet Ntele saying bye-bye.